Whether you're looking for a good deal or a good job, there's now a one-stop shop in Ashland. True North Goodwill held a grand opening at its expanded location in Ashland today. The nonprofit is best known for its donation drop-offs and retail stores. What you may not know, money raised through sales fuels their mission of helping those who face employment barriers find meaningful jobs in the community. Their new 6,700 square foot Ashland facility now features a career navigation center. As Scott Vizina with True North Goodwill says, the new facility creates more opportunities for the less fortunate.
This location really is symbolic and embodies our mission, which is transforming lives for generations through learning and the power of work.
As part of today's celebration, True North Goodwill offered Ashland shoppers a 20% discount, which continues through Saturday.